Hey guys, so I did not go to jail today, at least. Um, Today went a lot better than I anticipated. Um, but that's all thanks to my awesome, wonderful, amazing, very talented lawyer. Um, okay, so I get to court at 2 o'clock today, and um, I had my talismans in my pockets, the one I showed you today. This one, the bloodstone with the wrapped in the white cloth with the soaked in the rosemary water. And then I also made this one, which is specifically a luck spell that for court cases. Like, this is specifically for court. And what it is, this was the herb blend that I did. And I just put it in this little bottle and I sealed it, put it in my pocket. So, even though me and my boyfriend got into a horrible fight the other day, he was there for me. He's always there for me. And, I mean, despite how bad we treat each other, he's the only person in my entire life who has never turned their back on me, despite what we've said to each other and done to each other. And vice versa. Like, we don't turn our backs on each other. We really stick to that. So, but he was there, and we get there, and it's a courtroom full of people, like it normally is. And normally, since the town I live in is really small, the courtroom is really small. There is 2 courtrooms in the courthouse in the town here. There is general court upstairs and like the circuit court downstairs. And I get there, there's a lot of people, a lot of cops, a lot of prosecutors, and there was already like a trial in place. There was actually a cop up on the stand because I guess he used like excessive force on a pretty old man. Like, he punched the shit out of an old dude like a few times, and his body camera was conveniently off. But anyway, I hope luck to both of those people. I hope neither of their lives are ruined by decisions made in the moment. But I see the cop that arrested me, and like, I don't know, me and my boyfriend were sitting in the section furthest from the door that is like right behind. Okay, so it's like when you walk in, there is like the bailiff, and then there's like the defendant side. You know how in the courtrooms there's like one table here, and then like the stand, the witness stand, or not the witness stand, but like, the stand that you get up and talk. And, well, defendants, prosecutors. Well, we were over here. Prosecutor side is like on the furthest side from the door. And we're the only ones in that entire section. And so we're sitting back there, and I see the cop that arrested me, and I also seen the chief of police that was there, and who was also there when I got arrested that night. And I hadn't seen my lawyer yet. And so like 30 minutes goes by, and then I see my lawyer come into the courtroom. And, this whole 30 minutes before I see him, I'm like having a panic attack. Like, my body is having a panic attack. My mind isn't, but my body is. So like my heart was racing really bad. My palms were sweating. I was jittery. I don't know if you've ever been, if any of y'all have been so nervous to the point where like your legs kind of feel wobbly when you walk. But that's how I was feeling. I was feeling lightheaded and dizzy, and I couldn't catch my breath. But like my mind, I wasn't letting my mind freak out. And so I see my attorney come into the courtroom, and he goes over to the cops that are in front of us, the cop that arrested me and the chief of police, and he starts talking to them. Well, we're close enough to where I can kind of hear them. I heard my name said, and so my lawyer takes the cop into the room where you can, it's like the judge's room, I guess, where they can talk. They're in there for a good 10 minutes, and me and my boyfriend are both just like, scared shitless of what's going to happen, because like he was nervous the whole time too. Because as much as me and him fight, he doesn't want me going to jail. He knows how bad that tears me up. And, I got my daughter and my cats and everything to look after. So, it's not going to be it wouldn't have been a good day if I would have went to jail. But, anyway, the cop comes back in after 10 minutes, and my attorney leaves the room again with the DA, the state prosecutor. And he's a young guy. He's really cocky. The state prosecutor I'm talking about. He's really cocky. You can tell he wants to prove himself. He's in that stage of his career where he wants to prove himself as a success, as a successful DA who can win every case. Because people, you can tell those times. I mean, I've been in court enough times to spot those people. Well, as he's in the court, or as my lawyer's in the room with the DA, the cop looks over at me and kind of does like this thing. So he's sitting like this, facing the stand, right? And he's like that, and he kind of makes eye contact with me and goes, like, kind of like everything's okay. And I was like, I was kind of like unsure of like he was like looking at the person behind me, but like, because I was facing a felony charge today for giving a cop a wrong name when I got pulled over. I gave him my sister's name, and he tried to charge me with identity theft. And you cannot, on a felony basis at least, you cannot charge somebody with identity theft unless that person, me, tried to use documents like, say, an ID, a birth certificate, something like that, like something that said somebody else's name. I did not do that. And before I was even in the car, I told the cop who I really was. I did that because my daughter was with me and I panicked. And, when I panic like that, things just spill out of my mouth before I can like catch myself. And so after I had realized what I had just said, I told the cop, I'm not trying to make things complicated. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that. I panicked, but this is my name. This is who I am. I am fully willing to cooperate with you. I don't want to cause any problems. I don't want to make your day harder. I don't want to make my day harder. And he tried to charge me twice on that one charge, which would have he was trying to make it a felony offense. Well, my lawyer, the godsend that this man is, he convinces the cop to knock it down to misdemeanors, which is significantly less jail time and significant less damage on my life for the future, because if you got a felony on your record in America, your life's hard. I mean, you can't get approved for any loans or credit or anything. I mean, your life just sucks after that. I mean, you can barely even get a job at a basic and, higher class fast food restaurant or like higher class restaurant because of that felony. Unless you like prove yourself for years. But anyway, so finally my lawyer pulls me and my boyfriend into the room and tells me the magic he had just worked. We waived the felony to the downstairs court, which I don't know what that means. I guess we're like, I don't know what it means. We're going downstairs now. And then I had a driving on suspended charge because of child support. I don't have my license. I don't have my license not for any like criminal reason, but like only because of child support. And so, they charged me with that, tried to give me jail time. But I got off with a fine, but we appealed it just so we can keep all the cases together and go, we're just going to take them all downstairs. And so they reset, I still have to do the probation. I guess I have to see a probation officer every month, which isn't hard. I can do that. I've been doing it for the past few months, up until today. I was doing it every 2 weeks, and so once a month is a lot better. And but they told me I have to stop smoking weed. But the way my lawyer, the way he told me this kind of really offended me, because I do have a problem with drugs. Like, not now, not currently, but I used to have a problem with drugs. And when you do drugs and when you're around people who do drugs, there's certain terminologies for each drug. I don't know if y'all know that, but there is. Like the way you take it, there are certain terminologies. What it's called, there's certain ones. There's certain terminologies. It's just slang for drugs and how to take them and how you do them. Okay, so for like pills, which is what I had a problem with. People can snort pills, to make them hit your bloodstream quicker. And, the saying, keep your nose clean is referring to keep pills out of your nose. Like, don't be snorting pills. Well, I haven't snorted a pill since 2010, 2011 maybe. And my lawyer, instead of simply saying stop smoking weed, at least until this is over with, he decides to say keep your nose clean. I said, what does that mean? Why are you saying that? And he said, oh, well, just stay clean. I said, I don't do anything else. He said, well, I'm referring to the pot. And I said, well, how would you tell me to keep my nose clean then? Because those two sayings don't go together. Those don't correlate whatsoever. You're insinuating that I'm a pillhead, which I'm not. So, me and him kind of had a little spat about that. I told him, I didn't yet raise my voice or anything, but I was like, you're using the wrong terminology and it's offensive. Please stop. And he looked me dead in the eye and said, I'm sorry, I didn't know that, and I won't do it again. I said, thank you. So we moved on for that. But anyway, we got the court date rescheduled for May 21st week of May 8th, I think it was. So May 8th will be the day, but I gotta say, these talismans, they really worked. I mean, I put intention into these things for hours, this morning. Like, I started doing these things early in the day, probably like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. And I was researching that the spells all night last night. So my mind and my intent has been on these things, on winning not winning in court, but not being portrayed as bad as they were trying to portray me as. And they weren't. So yeah. I just wanted to come on here and share the semi-good news. Well, I mean, it's good news because I'm not in jail. And I don't have to go back to court until May, which is a few months away. And so it's not going to hinder any of my garden plans or anything else. So, things are going to be looking up. And it's pretty late at night right now. That's why I'm kind of like talking quiet, and my eyes are a little droopy. I'm really tired. It's been a really emotionally draining day. It's been I can't even get my words out. It's been an emotional roller coaster of a day, that's for sure. There's been ups and downs and all arounds, and it's been a tough day, but I got through it, just like I get through every tough day. And if any of you guys are having a tough day, just know that all tough days pass and things get better. From the late great Tupac, keep your head up, because after every dark night there's a bright day. So I love everybody, and I love the world, and I love myself, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Yeah. Good night.